Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the market report. So we're in the first week of September right now. So of course we're going to go back. We're going to take a look at August real estate numbers for the upstate New York capital region here. We're talking Albany up to Lake George, surrounding areas and stuff like that. We're going to be covering those areas and talk. I'm going to cover them in general as a whole. If you're first to the channel, this is how we do it. We cover the capital region as a whole. Then I kind of break down some specific areas in there and try and cover everything a little bit here for everybody to check out and see. Let's get right into it. If you don't know who I am, there I am right there, Chris McMahon. I'm a local real estate agent here in the capital region. So let's get right down into it. We're going to screen share here for you and take a look at first the capital region, see what's going on with that. And we're coming in here and the number of listings sold, everything like that. Let's take the sold out of here, but we've got the number of active listings is over 1,900. Obviously, if you see this little pattern right here, we haven't seen that many in a while. It's been a steady trend moving up since about April, and that continued to happen this month as well. As the number of active listings went up to 1,913. We're seeing the same pattern with the pendings and as well as the new listings. New listings jumped up to almost 1,400 from 1,257. So a decent number jumped up with new listings there as well. So we're seeing some stuff still on the rise through the month of August, and now we're coming into September. September in the last year has been it's been a pretty good month in the past couple of years comparative to the other months. So let's see if that trend's going to stick around with that when we come back here next month in October and take a look at our September numbers. But as of right now, we're still seeing that trend coming up as it has been for a while. Now, the average sold price, a little bit different right here. We had a huge jump a couple months ago where it came all the way up here. It was a slight increase back there in the month of July, and it looks like we're going to see for the month of August a slight decline of about $4,000 or so. So the average sales price, remember, this isn't the list price. It's different than that. The average sales price seems to have come down just a little bit here, but not too much. So let's come down here. Absorption rates. Our absorption rate is, again, it's increasing. We're just up over 2 months. And again, we haven't seen that since, what we're talking about, November of last year, up over 2 months. So it's been below 2 months ever since then. So we're creeping back up over that 2 month range. And the days on the market kind of flatlined right here. It was about 3 weeks, and it's still just about 3 weeks. It hasn't changed too much on that one either. So let's come down here. And the one thing I always like to check out here is, where is the hot number for those looking to sell? Where is the most movement? And we come down here, we take a look right here, that our most movement is that 300 to 400 range. We got 225 in sales in the month of August. So that's the hot area right there. The second hot area, oddly enough, we're coming in at 500 plus. So people spending money here on these houses, which is good news if you're looking to sell. So now let's go down and let's break this down here a little bit to our different areas. So let's start with some of our favorite locations that we got in here. Actually, we'll keep that favorite locations. What do you say? We always start with Saratoga Springs. Let's skip that one that time. We're going to hold that one off for a little bit. We're going to come in and we're going to jump into Queensbury, starting right up there, our neighbors to the north here from Saratoga. Bunch of clutter. Let's get rid of a little bit here. Let's get rid of the new listings. We'll come back and we will definitely check that out here in a second here. But active listings, we got 24 and it was 23. So the active listings are staying roughly about the same from last month to this month. But pending listings did jump. So some activity. So buyers are out there. Well, from 21 to 27. Let's see what we got for new listings. New listings, 18 for the month of July, 32 for the month of August. So that almost doubled. So there's a lot of new listings that came out for the month of August in the Queensbury area, so which is good. Now let's take a look over here. We got the average sales price. Average sales price was $357, and it stayed about the same at $355.5. So we're not really seeing much of a difference of what the houses have sold for in that area. It's leveled off a little bit here for the last couple months, but I think the good news is we're seeing an increase in people popping their properties out there. The absorption rate increased slightly, so it's a little bit over a month here. It was just about a month before. The list of sold ratio jumped, so it's 106. Look at this jump right here. It's actually quite a bit. It's jumped almost 7% on this, which the list of sold ratio, which means houses that are going out there, what they're listing for, they're on average getting about 6.8% over what they're asking. So keep in mind for my sellers out there, especially if you're in the Queensbury area, houses are hot right there. We got some listings, we got people looking, and they're going for over asking. Days on the market is up to about 12 days here, so just under 2 weeks. Not much there. But where is the hot area? Let's check the hot area as we come down. Looks like we got a tie. The 200 to 250 range is one, and then the 500 plus range. Both had 6 sales in that area in the month of August. So those are the two hot areas right there. Over 500. So if your house is up over 500, if you're not sure what your house is worth, reach out and get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy to do a home evaluation for you. Free consultation, no obligation, anything like that, but just kind of go over, let you know what your house is worth, maybe give you some ideas of what you can do to increase the value of the house and sell it faster. But reach out, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to hook up with you and help you out with that. So let's go over here. Let's check out our next location. We're just going to work our way down. We're going to hit up Saratoga Springs here next. We'll take out these sold listings so it doesn't look so cluttered here as we're going through and taking a look at it. Sure, let's take out the pendings. Maybe that'll be all right. I like that right there. We'll take out the pendings. So look at this. Active listings up to 111. Look at this. Pretty good jump. It was 88 the previous month. So we got a big jump in the active listings in Saratoga. Right here, as far as new listings did drop, it dropped too, but 68 to 66. They're not really hardly calling it a drop, but it is down a couple. And then we got right here, the number of sold listings, 51 from 43. So sales went up. We definitely got an increase in the active listings. New listings, about level, came down a little bit, but not that big a deal. Listing price over here, as we know, Saratoga Springs tends to be one of our higher price points in the capital region right here. We had the high was at 830, and that was a couple months ago, back in the month of June. But right now, it came down to 762 in the month of July, month of August, 760. So it came down 2,000, so relatively the same. And we'll check that list of sold ratio. Let's check that out right now. The list of sold ratio came down. It's still over 100%. It was about 105 a month ago, but it looks like there's 102. So people are still getting, in general, over asking for what they're listing their properties for right now. Absorption rate increase in Saratoga. We were at 2.25 before. Now we're at almost 3 months for the amount of inventory that we have in the capital region. And days on market jumped up to about 4 weeks. Let's see our hot spot. Drum roll, please. We've got, roll it right down, 500 plus. We got 35 sales, which isn't really that surprising in Saratoga Springs, like I said before. It is our highest price point, and we do see that 760 is the average sales price. So the 500 plus price range for seeing this number of 35 right here, not overly surprising. But coming in second is the 4 to 499, and then the 3 to 399 right there. So that's our Saratoga Springs report. Next one we're coming in. Let's hit up Albany, the capital. All right. Get rid of our pendings. Still a little bit cluttered right here. Some close numbers, but we'll decipher that in just a second here. Okay, so we're talking Albany here. Again, we're seeing this big spike right here with the number of new listings up to 107. When the previous month it was 69. So it looks like some people came out to sell their houses in August. Active listings 72, which jumped from 69. Which jumped from 68. So up slightly, but not that much, but relatively the same. And we got the number of solds jump from 57 to 76. So we're seeing increases in those numbers right there. The big thing I like to see is this number of the active listings going up at 72. That means there's more opportunities for buyers out there as we see more of those active listings hanging out on the market. So let's come over here and check our prices. It looks like we got a nice little spike in them right here from 268 to 291. So some big home sales kind of went on in the month of August. We're seeing a nice jump right there. This, as you can see by the chart, is a 12-month high. And if we went further back, I'm going to guess it was probably more than a 12-month high. But from as far back as we go here, which is a year from now, this is our 12-month highs for people getting in Albany, and they're getting over the asking price. 104.3 is what we're seeing there. So they're getting over asking for those. And we're just over a month of inventory on here. So a 1.06 is the absorption right there, which is interesting because we got a lot of active listings over in this area, and they're selling pretty fast and for over asking because we've only got a month of inventory. Days on the market. Now this kind of go along with this because we see that the absorption rate is just over a month, which over in Saratoga and in the capital region as a whole was over that 2-month area. So this is half of what we're seeing from the others. So seems to be a decent amount of activity going on in the Albany area. And it dropped from 3 weeks down to 2 weeks. So almost actually a little over that if you figure we're rounding here. So a little bit over a week that came off as far as the whole time. So where's the hot spot, you ask? Hold on, we're going to go down and we're going to check this out right now. As we roll down here, we got pretty close, but that 250 to 299, 300 to 400 range, that seems to be the hot spot in that area. So, I mean, there's only one difference. So we're going to kind of combine those two areas and say that 250 to 400 range is really where most of these properties are going for in that area. So come on up here. Let's hit up Lake George. We're going back north, resort town. Love this area to kind of look at because it's always interesting. It acts a little differently because it definitely is a summer place. So we tend to see that numbers react quite a bit in the summer months up in the Lake George area. So here we go. What do we got as far as right here, our active listings? It's slightly down from 37 to 36. So yeah, it's down 1, but that's saying it's relatively the same in my opinion. Right over here, we got new listings 9. Which came down from 15, so a little bit less on the market there, which, again, if you think about it, makes a little bit of a sense because a lot of people come up their summer homes. They kind of spend the summer up here. You're not going to pop it on the market. Maybe you're probably going to put it on the market a little bit earlier because you're not going to be up here. Sold listings, we got 10 and 10, so that stayed pretty consistent. So the demand in that area seems to be fairly consistent. The number of new listings has dropped down a little bit. So what does that say if you're someone who's looking to sell your house? Well, the new listings are down. We're also seeing that the active listings are down, as we can see right here, just slightly. But that means that there's less competition if you're putting your house out there. So if you're thinking of selling, this may not be a bad time because a lot of people coming off a great summer vacation in Lake George want to buy a home in the Lake George area so they can bring their families back there. And the competition is down a little bit, so it may not be a bad time for you to pop that on the market. Our price, as we saw, it corrected last month because we had this, 2.6 million. So obviously we're selling a couple big houses. It did kind of stay relatively the same, increased a little. Oh no, so we got a big difference here. It's at 457, kind of slid up there to that 4 or that 545. So for the average sales price did jump up quite a bit. Because we got this right here skewing the graph a little bit, that it doesn't look like it, but when you check out the numbers, it actually is a big difference there. So we're talking about mid 500s on the average sales price in there. Absorption rate always seems to be quite high in this area. So we're still over 5 months in the absorption rate. The list of sold ratio is getting 94%. Took a dip. 99.7 last month. Right now we're getting 94% on the list of sold ratio. And number of days on the market, that's going up to almost 80. But again, this area, it always seems to kind of trend a little bit higher in the Lake George area. But that's all right. So we're talking about 80 days right there. Where's the hot spot? Here we go. Let's check this out. This is one of my favorite parts is figuring out. And the draw right here, 500 plus. We had 500 homes sell for over 500 plus in that area. And then here we got 111, a couple different areas at 400 range. And then we got the 2 to 250. And then a little bit lower than that, the 180 to 199. Let's check out South Glens Falls. People ask me why I do South Glens Falls because I just like that area. I don't really know why, but I just kind of like the South Glens Falls area. So I'd like to check up on it. Which reminds me, if there is an area that I don't cover specifically that you're interested in and you want to know more information, again, reach out and get a hold of me. I'll be more than happy to either, if I get enough people who are interested, I'll add it to the list of places that I like to share with everybody. So we'll put it out there. Or The other thing I'll do is I'll just come out and I'll do your own private video for you. So, and send that out to you so you can get this information so you're armed and ready to go when you're looking for buying or selling your house here. So, let's go in here. We got South Glens Falls area, and we're going to come in. The new listings are at 8. They were 6, so it jumped up. Let's take out the new listings because that's going to kind of, there we go. Now I can get in here and check this out. So active listings is 8. That's on a trend down over the last couple of months. It was 9. And we've also got sold listings 13. So solds are up from 5 to 13. A lot of sales in there right there. Again, the number's kind of declining as far as the active listings. The new listings kind of popped up a little bit, but the big one is the competition one is the active listings that incorporates all of them. So again, looking to sell in that area, may not be a bad time to think about popping your house on the market right here because there obviously is some demand with all these solds right here, but it also seems to be dropping down. So list price came down to 271.83 is the average listing or the average sales price for the region, which dropped down from 395. So this was a kind of trended up. Then we had that big spike right here. Now it's kind of corrected a little bit, come back to where it was roughly before that spike. Absorption rate kind of came down. We're a little bit over a month in this area. The list to sold ratio over 100% on this one as well, 102.7%. So get slightly over what they're asking for. And days on the market is just over 3 weeks in that area. Hotspot where homes are selling in this area. Let's check and see. 2 to 250 range. Followed very closely by the 300 to basically 300 to 500. We'll kind of combine those two areas. So, but that 2 to 250 range is a pretty good area. So a nice affordable place nowadays. If you're interested in buying and think South Glens Falls is an area that may work for you. It's a beautiful area. A lot of great people there. And we got, the hot range is pretty affordable. So something to think about if you're thinking of that area. And I can also put a list of homes for sale in that area and do a search. If that's something you're interested in, reach out and let me know on that one. Be more than happy to do that. Okay, we're going to the last two areas. We're going to hit up Glens Falls, which is the neighbor there. We're right in that, still that northern area. All right, here we go. So new listings. New listings are up from 20, from 14. So big jump in there, about 5, which is a pretty decent number for the area we're covering up there in the Glens Falls. We're also kind of looking at active listings is 14, which is up from 13. So popped up a little bit. This looks like it's going to flatline right here with the number of sales. Average sales price, we're at 285, which is up from 219. So that's pretty decent right there. That's up, over 60,000 for the average sales price in that area. Absorption rate is also up to 1.14 months. So it was at a month even last time we did this, and now it's up a little bit from there. List to sold ratio, where are we at on this one? Still over 100%, just slightly at 101.1. With the days on the market is creeping up to just under 2 weeks, when before we were, average days on the market, 12.7. Yeah. So it's changing here a little bit. Let's go down here and see where we got. Yeah, this 2 to 300 range. We had 4 sales in that 2 to 300 range is where the most of them. They're coming in actually tied. Look at this too. Is at 100 to 119 to 120. So a couple of lower priced ones popped in there, and then we got that 200 to 300 range where the other sales kind of came in. Let's see what we got next. That was our Glens Falls region. Clifton Park. We're going to wrap it up with Clifton Park today. Take that out of there. Let's actually take the active listings out for just a second because they're kind of almost overlapping on each other here. But let's look at our new listings. Is up to 61 from 40. So that's a pretty big jump. That's about a third, 33% right there, jumping up. Solds went up 46 from 39, so they're up as well. Now let's get those actives back in there and take a look. Well, we got 59 active from 40 previous month. So again, that's kind of jumped up as well too by about 20. So some active stuff going on there in August. Looking over here, list price is average sales price is 436,000, down from 505. So a little bit of a drop right over there in that area as we're seeing. The absorption rate, the amount of time or amount of inventory we have here is up to 1.81 for the amount of months of inventory that I have over there. Sold ratio came down. It was almost 108 last month. Now we're looking at 104.3, still getting over 100% from the list to sold ratio, but not quite what it was. This was our 12-month high right here last month, but it's still up there right here. It's still competitive with some of these other ones as far as that numbers goes. Days on the market looks like it increased a little bit here as well, right about 7 days or a week on the market. And the hot area is, we've got a tie here from basically 400 up because we got 14 and 14. So that is where the hot area is, followed very closely with that 300 to 400 range right below that, which again, not too surprising when you come over here and you look and you check out and you see that, the average sales price is 436 in that area. But so that is what we got right there. That's our market report for the capital region. Again, if you didn't see an area, I didn't cover an area that you're interested in, you want some more information about that, reach out, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a video for you and cover that for you, making sure you're getting that information that you need. If you got any real estate questions, reach out, get a hold of me. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell. You get notified because I've been doing more videos that are all going to be coming out here. And we also got, don't forget this, investors out there, pay attention to me because we're going to be coming out next week with our investors report. And we're going to see what's going on in the world of the investing. So, that's it for this time. We will see you guys on the next video.